Well, hi, everyone. This is the Brad Free Report for June 1st. Let's jump right into it with last week's scorecard. And I don't have a lot to brag about, but I'm not going to take responsibility for two of these. Well, I'll take responsibility for all the selections, but not from wagering purposes. City of Light, I thought would win the Gold Cup. He went off at 6-5. Do you really want 6-5 on a horse trying a mile and a quarter for the first time? No. Personally, I sat the race out. We'll talk a little bit more about the Gold Cup in a minute. One race after the Gold Cup, it was the Grade 2 Charlie Whittingham, and why anybody would back Syntax at odds of 3-1 is mind-boggling. Yes, I thought he had a chance to spring an upset over It's in the Post. I also thought Syntax would be in the 5-1, 6-1 range. He was not. He went off at 3-1, a horrible price and a poor performance. Syntax finished last. One horse that I will take responsibility for from a parimutuel perspective, Mopetism. I thought Mopetism had a chance to maybe move up on grass. 6-1 was an okay price. She finished last. She comes right back on Saturday in the Grade 1 Beholder Mile. But Mopetism, that's the only one I'm going to take responsibility for. If I'm shirking my responsibilities as a handicapper, sorry. But we have to be careful about backing horses at short prices. There's a cliche at the racetrack, every winner is an overlay. That's not true, because our winners must pay for our losers. And sometimes we have bad handicapping, other times we have bad luck. Let's take a look at a couple of fillies who had bad luck last time out, including Hawksmoor, the even money favorite in the Grade 1 Gamely last weekend. Two from the outside. You saw Hawksmoor. She stumbled at the start, and that was it for her. She's a front runner, pace pressure. The gates open. Hawksmoor stumbled. The race was lost. There are a lot of unforeseen occurrences that happen in horse racing that compromise performances, and it compromised Hawksmoor. She actually ran okay. When she shows up again next time out in the Midwest or New York, somewhere on the East Coast, she will have a legitimate alibi for her most recent start. Let's go down to Oaklawn Park, where Unique Bella was 1-5 in the Apple Blossom. The gates opened. What happened? Unique Bella was squatting as the gates opened. She was off slowly. Mike Smith let her roll. In hindsight, Smith said, I could have sat back there and waited, but he did not think the Apple Blossom was a time to experiment with tactics. The point is this: unforeseen trouble can jump right into the equation. In the case of Hawksmoor and Unique Bella, who would have guessed they would have lost the race at the break? They both did. Okay, let's talk about a couple of wow performances from last week at Santa Anita, including the Gold Cup. Accelerate could not have been any more impressive. He broke running. Victor Espinoza took hold, sat third behind the speed. Let's take a look at the stretch run of the Grade 1 Gold Cup, and that's Accelerate on the outside. Dr. Door and City of Light. What does Accelerate do? He runs right past those two good horses. This was a big effort by a good colt who has jumped right into the picture as a potential Breeders' Cup Classic contender later in the year. He'll show up next at Del Mar. That was Accelerate, a wow performance last week in the Gold Cup. He's good. So is Marley's Freedom, the Grade 3 Desert Stormer. Her first start since moving from trainer Bob Hess to Bob Baffert. And what did Marley's Freedom do? Well, she crushed the Grade 3 Desert Stormer. She actually earned a 105 Beyer speed figure. That's the highest number of the year by a filly mare sprinter. This gal is something special. She's on her way up. She took a big step forward for Baffert. We might see Marley's Freedom in the Great Lady M down at Los Alamitos. And if she can maintain form the rest of the year, she'll be a Breeders' Cup filly mare sprint candidate. Okay, let's talk about the two-year-olds. They're up and running at Santa Anita. Two-year-old racing has begun. We have already had 8 races for two-year-olds. And very curiously, these races have been dominated by chalk. 8 races, 4 of them won by the favorite, 3 of them won by the second choice. Tajori, Six Pack Gal, and Time for Kisses, all second choice in the betting. 4 winning favorites. I don't know if it's just a statistical quirk, but it's something to keep in mind, and it's something to keep in mind on Sunday when a pair of two-year-old races for Calbreds take place at Santa Anita. Race number 3 includes first-time starter Occam's Razor, who will be tough to beat. Race number 5 on Sunday, we'll find out if the Uncle Mo first-time starter, trained by John Sheriffs. When was the last time you saw John Sheriff start a two-year-old in the month of June? This Uncle Mo colt, Mo Boo, must be something precocious. There's a look at the 2-year-olds, and we're eating chalk this summer at the spring at Santa Anita as the 2-year-olds are running to form, and we'll find out more if that trend continues on Sunday with Occam's Razor in race 3 and Mo Boo in race number 5. Okay, let's take a quick peek at the upcoming stakes races at Santa Anita. On Saturday, there are 2 of them. Race number 7 is the Snow Chief Stakes, a 1.125 miles on grass. And if Take the 101, the morning line favorite, can get a 1.125 miles, he can win it. I don't think he can. I think he's dubious at the distance. Let's put it to you that way. The horse I like, no great bargain here. Hard Boot is listed at 3-1. Very impressive winner last time out, Hard Boot was. That was in the Silky Sullivan Stakes Gate Fields. He rallied from last. He won going away. He's trained well since then. Hard Boot, I'll take him at 5-2. Anything less, and I won't be surprised if he does go less, it'll be a pass race. Sometimes we just need to stand down and pass races. Another race that offers very little wagering value is the Beholder Mile on Saturday. It's race number 9. Why is it a good race to watch and not wager on? Because Unique Bella is an absolute standout. She's the 3-5 favorite. She faces a couple of good ones. Paradise Woods and Valdoria are okay. But Unique Bella, I think she's in a different league. We saw her alibi for the Apple Blossom. She lost it at the break. If she happens to break slowly on Saturday, which I don't expect she will, Mike Smith now knows that he can take hold and she can sit back there. I expect Unique Bella to win at 3-5, but on the 2 stakes races on Saturday, the only one I'm really interested in wagering on is Hard Boot in the Snow Chief, and only if he goes 5-2 or higher. Okay, talking about short prices, we're going to see a very short price a week from Saturday in the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes. Justify trying to make it 6 for 6, trying to become the second Triple Crown winner in the last 4 years, both for Bob Baffert, if Justify does deliver. Let's talk real briefly about the pros and cons of Justify. And sometimes it's a good idea to remind ourselves of the basics. The reasons why we bet on this game is because there is an element of predictability, and it's based on logical, objective, standard handicapping principles such as class. Justify has class. He is the best horse. He's 5 for 5. He won the Santa Anita Derby, Kentucky Derby, Preakness. He's the class of the field. His current form is outstanding. Justify breezed on Tuesday. I was talking to Baffert on Thursday morning, and he said, yeah, now he's fit, as if Justify was not fit yet in the Santa Anita Derby, Kentucky Derby, and Preakness. Baffert said he looked soft in some of those races, but since the Preakness, Justify has toned up. He's starting to show a crease on his side. This guy is good. He should deliver. He has the top speed figures in the race. 97. There's been a lot of talk that 97 was not good. Come on. 8 of the last 10 Belmont Stakes winners entered the race with a lower number than 97. So if you want to knock Justify for earning a 97, you might want to go back and reread some standard handicapping books like Buyer on Speed. And 97 is just fine. If the race unfolds as expected, Justify should be loose on the lead. He's going to control the pace. So we have class, condition, speed, and pace. And then finally, there's the Baffert factor. Baffert breaks all the rules. He broke the curse of Apollo with Justify. He won the Triple Crown with American Pharoah. Baffert is one of the best trainers that we have ever seen. And I think that that's something that we need to remind ourselves if we're going to bet against Justify. Now, what about the cons? Well, unexpected chaos. There are a lot of things that can happen. A horse can stumble, traffic trouble, the pace comes up hot, jockey commits an error, maybe Justify melts down in the post parade. There are a lot of things that can happen in any horse race. And that's why backing horses at short prices, it's not usually a good idea. How about the recent history of the Belmont Stakes? In the last 10 years, Datara paid, what did Datara pay? $79. Summerbird, $25. Ruler on Ice, $51. Creator, $34. This race, the Belmont Stakes, is a race with lots of upsets recently. In fact, favorites are only 1 for 12 since a Fleet Alex in 2006. Odds-on favorites are only 1 for 9 since Affirmed in 1978. And the biggest con of all for Justify, we're talking price. He'll be a short price. Does he offer value at 1 to 5? No, I don't think so. If you like somebody else, good luck. I think Justify is a kick in the Belmont Stakes. I won't be betting a dime on him, but I will be giving him a big round of applause when he goes gate to wire in the Belmont Stakes. I'm Brad Free, and I'll talk to you next time.